monthly of the year, and anything that people should be doing now, Wayne? Is there something that we as John Q. Public should be doing now? Watering our yards with our bottled water.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, that's a good point, Hippo. Anything that you did buy back during Isaac, Debbie, whatever, as far as supplies, give those to a food bank, give those to one of the many, whether it's the Homeless Coalition, the Salvation Army, whoever, because they can certainly use it.
Good Samaritans.
And Good Samaritans, yep. And how'd that go work, the Empty Bowls thing? Go good?
Very, very good.
I was sorry to miss that. I think he had to work, but I really would like to do that again next year. Done it before. Michael was there, right? I guess he does the.
Yeah.
Does he do the auction?
Yes, he does the auction.
But anyway,
they lost money at that, but that's okay.
You're brutal. Give give it to one of those many charities, and then and restock it. It's good for.
Don't restock it right away, but restock it.
No, I'm saying, but make sure that you do that you don't take it for granted that we're gonna skate again.
And your ice and your water does not stay good in those plastic jugs.
No.
For a year.
No,
okay.
That's the outside. That's the outside. If it's in a dark place, it's okay. I've told you that story about the lady that showed me her garage, and she had shelf after shelf after shelf after shelf of bottled water. And I said, "How long have you been collecting this bottled water?" She said, "About 6 years."
Ooh, boy.
So it was in the garage where the temperature's
hot.
Normally 110 degrees.
Ouch.
So I told her, I said, "None of that's any good." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Bacteria. It's full of bacteria. You can't use that." So she didn't have a pool, so she could have saved it and used it for any number of purposes, but other than using it as potable water. But yeah, think about there are people still hurting tremendously from Sandy. It's been interesting to see the description in the post-storm environment, because about half the people refer to it as Superstorm Sandy, okay, which is probably more accurate, all right, because she stopped being a hurricane at about the Carolinas, moving north. And that's when the transition began. I think we talked about this the last time I was here. The transition began from a traditional tropical system, okay, and over the course of 48 hours, that storm tripled in size. Not strength, but size. It got weaker. It got weaker, okay, but broader.
Yeah, it went from like 140 miles across at one point to 500 miles across.
Well, to when it came up through Pennsylvania and across the Great Lakes, the wind field was 1,300 miles wide, from Madison, Wisconsin to Portland, Maine.
Okay, so what was the system that picked it up to take it from a tropical storm?
It was a Canadian...
A cold front.
The cold front came through, whipped it up.
An Arctic clipper coming down, an early season, very strong cold front was coming down, and it actually drew the storm towards it and produced the additional energy to then energize it from above rather than below. Okay. It wasn't energized by the ocean any longer.
Right.
It was energized by a cold core
It didn't have the temperature of the ocean to work
and it
with.
became a winter storm. And that's why there was controversy that, would the Weather Channel use, their new designation of winter storms once it ceased being tropical as Sandy? Were they going to stick the name Athena on it? Well, they didn't. That would have really led to confusion. They have since named that second storm, the nor'easter that then affected them the week later. They called that Athena, did the Weather Channel. This is much to the chagrin of the National Weather Service and the Hurricane Center, by the way. Nobody other than the Weather Channel thinks that's a very good idea. Now, maybe I'm sure some people, think it's neat, but it does lend to some confusion.
Oh, without question. Wayne Sallade Jones, he's the Emergency Management Director of Charlotte County, winner of numerous awards during Hurricane Charlie, and we like having Wayne here to give us the update and a little bit more introspection into what's going on in the storm's aftermath. And Wayne, you told us last time you were in New York in 2005. Tell them about having the generators for the gas stations.
Well, yeah, it was, that invitation and all the invitations I had to New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Michigan were extraordinary. because they all wanted to hear the Charlie story and what we had experienced and what we had gone through. And when I got to New York, you know, I found an extraordinary situation, and I was very disappointed to learn that one of the key things that I had tried to impart on them was debris management and having a debris plan, having predetermined contracts with national companies that do this for a living, and they then hire the subs to come in and haul stuff off. I don't care if it's a major ice storm in New England, I don't care if it's a flood in the Midwest, a tornado in Tuscaloosa, or a hurricane someplace else. That's the way to do debris. Lo and behold, those counties, and particularly more so the counties in New Jersey, and I had the opportunity to share with them as well, but they had to use the Army Corps of Engineers. That is far more costly than to have a competitively bid contract. I mean, you know, low bid is low bid.
Yeah.
You know, if you meet the requirements of the posting of the job, then you know you're getting done what you ask to be done. The Army Corps of Engineers comes in and they send you the bill. You know, when it's all over.
We're going to take a break, check on sports right now. Wayne Sallade joins us this morning. He's here for another half hour, so stay with us.